got a 12-foot skeleton.
Wait, why? Is that you?
Wicked, wicked!
Facebook jail.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now.
Oh boy.
The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long.
Good evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with your host Dan Doble, Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivello. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
welcome to another fantastic Haunt Hour. I'm your host, Dan Haunt Guy Doble, accompanied tonight with Troy Da Bears Crivolone, Susie the Ball Driller Fleesick, and I'm
That's
sure
me.
there's.
Thank you.
I'm sure everybody's wondering what that means. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's
Not what you think.
telling Troy.
It's not what you think.
Oh, it is, because then she followed up with, it resulted in a lot of distressed walls. Or is that
Well,
how-
I don't
is that-
know.
Is that, I mean, when you drill a bunch of balls, walls get distressed.
You guys have to remember that I open next Friday. So you're lucky I'm even freaking here right now.
Oh,
So
Your brain is not here at all, right?
Take that one out of context. I drilled a bunch of balls. Hey, I'm open next week.
I'm open next week. You know what? All you men are the same. If my husband were here, he would have probably been standing over here laughing. But
Well, yeah.
guess where he is? He's at the haunt.
I'm open next week.
Because we open next week.
Is
you know
he
what?
at the haunt?
Whatever. I'm
So
done.
he's at the haunt using the So he's at the haunt using the balls that you just drilled.
He is,
Got it.
yes,
Okay.
we
Got it.
drilled the balls together. He's at the haunt. No, we have one of our sections this year is daycare, haunted daycare / preschool, and we have this idea for a ball pit. And I'm like, how do you keep the balls in there? It's not really going to work. So we drilled 1,000 balls and strung them, and then we're hanging them, and you have to like go through them like this.
So are they really close together? So it gives you that.
You know how you think 1,000 balls are a lot of balls? Did you ever think that it was going to be more than it was?
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, Dan. Have you ever wondered what 1,000
happens.
balls looks like? I mean,
Totally.
you keep you up
it's
at night.
it's not as spectacular as you expected it to be.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's probably going to be dark in there. And, there's always people that just think everything's cool. So I'm just banking on those people to be like, oh my God, this is the funnest room. Meanwhile, it took us so freaking long to drill through these balls and to string them. Because like you think about it, you have to have something. Here we go. You guys are going to be all kinds of perverted here.
Yeah.
But you have to figure out what you could stick through it. I have to make the motions too. You have to figure out what you could stick through it so that it because they're like 2.5-inch balls, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Generally,
relate?
that's the
Can you
size, right?
relate?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So anyway, so you have to string them in you know what I mean? So you have to have something to poke through the balls, something really hard and pointy,
like
to
a
poke
shaft
through
of
these
some sort.
balls.
Yeah, so
Something
some
like
sort of
that.
long, hard shaft
Something
going through
long
the ball.
and hard
Right.
that needs to go through these balls.
Right.
We lost all of our viewers. I just want you to know everybody left.
But the takeaway is that Troy is now extremely afraid of you because now you know how to
Very.
put
If he
things
wasn't
through balls.
already, he wasn't already,
Right,
he's definitely
right.
afraid of me now.
Definitely.
So, I mean, trust me, 23 years together, and he's definitely seen my worst side. So he's definitely afraid, but definitely more so now. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah. But the reason I put that here is because that's the reason why I wasn't on the show last week, whatever the hell day it was, because we're skipping
Yeah, Dan.
around.
Yeah, Dan.
That's totally my fault.
Yeah.
I
Can't wait to hear
totally
this.
forgot. So,
Yeah, I messaged Dan and he goes, "What?
What
I thought it was tomorrow night.
I thought-
What do you
I
think
thought
it
it was
was
last
the-
night." I was like, "Well,
I
no,
thought
tonight."
we were supposed to do it last night, and I'm here. I'm at a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, filming a toilet, and I'll get to that in a minute. And I'm like, oh my God, seriously, we're doing this tonight? And I'm like, I'm by myself because the owner of this scenario that's going on, she hasn't showed up yet. And I'm like texting, I'm like, oh my God. And she's pulling up. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm supposed to do this tonight. What the fuck? So Troy's like, are you still alive? I haven't heard from you all day. I'm like, because I didn't expect we were doing anything this week. For some reason, I just thought that since it fell on a Tuesday, we just decided to do the week off, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So you had like a whole conversation with us that never happened?
Yeah, it happens all the time. Ask my wife.
What people need to realize is that we're constantly in communication throughout the week via private message.
Yes.
And I feel like you just didn't read anything we wrote. So.
Absolutely.
That's definitely what happened.
It's totally what happened.
Yet it was your idea to move it because I told you it was Wednesday because of Labor Day. And you're like, well, I thought it was yesterday. Did we have anything yesterday?
Right.
No,
right. Well, because of volleyball porn.
Yeah.
I had to throw
right,
that in.
Exactly.
Volleyball porn. This is like such an inside joke.
It's
show
a whole other episode.
It's totally raunch. It's
also midget wrestling, whatever.
It's midget wrestling and
whatever.
I don't know, whatever.
Anyway, Dan, tell us about your adventures in the toilet.
In the toilet. So I was approached by a company that makes a cleaner for toilets, and it's like a very industrial strength cleaner that takes off rust and calcium deposits and all this fun jazz, and they use it for a bunch of different things. Well, I signed on to make a bunch of videos for her new products. Well, she's like, this toilet cleaner stuff that's coming out, it takes off scale, it takes off all this stuff, rust deposits. It's like an industrial strength CLR that you'll be able to buy in the store. It's not out yet, so we're making all this content so that when we roll it out, she has all this stuff. Well, there's an old farmhouse like 20 minutes north of me that is being renovated. And it is like I should have taken a picture of it. It's like a classic.
It's the perfect toilet for this commercial.
Right? Oh yeah, it's a perfect house for a haunted house. Like it sets the scene of like a horror film. Okay, so we pull up and there's nobody there. Okay, and I pull up and I'm waiting and I'm texting Troy, and then she pulls up and she's like, "Hey," and mind you, I know Colleen, the owner of this, for years now. Her daughter and my daughter hang out, so she's like, "Yeah, come on in," and she's very put together. But she's very, she's a business owner. She reminds me a little bit of Susie. She knows what she wants, and she has, and she gets the job done. So we're in this, we go, and it's a farmhouse. So it's a very, very small bathroom. I'm talking like, you can't stand on the other side of the toilet because you're like, it's like 2x3, and there's a stand-in shower that's been built into this little 2x3 foot room. And I'm like, oh my God. And if anybody knows me, I'm like sort of a germaphobe when it comes to like bathrooms. So, and Colleen doesn't know this. So she's like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm sweating. I'm trying not to worry about this. I'm like, just going to get this job done, So we're in there and I'm straddled over this nasty ass old farm toilet. That's the bottom of the bowl is like all rust. It's disgusting. And there's like mold growing on the top. It was gross. So we get in there and I'm filming. She's like, she pours the stuff in. She's like, ooh, this is a tough one. I'm like, oh, great. It's not going to be easy. So it's not going to work out, And we're like, I've got all these lights like lit around it. So there's no shadows. And we're, flushing the toilet a half dozen times. And with like her and I in this little room. And all of a sudden you hear thump, 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 thump.
No.
The top.
No.
And then she like looks at me with these big pie eyes. And I'm like, what was it? What the fuck was that? She's like, and she's very, I'm not going to show any signs of weakness. She's like, oh, that's probably nothing. Let's go back to working on it.
It's probably nothing.
And I'm like, and it did it again. Like 2 minutes later here. And I'm like, Colleen, that's not a raccoon. That she's like, that sounds like a person, doesn't it? And I'm like, yeah, it does. She's like, I was told nobody lives here. I'm like, well, maybe it's a squatter. Like, I don't know. It's like 9 o'clock at night. We're in the middle of a farmhouse. There's no cars, no nothing around. So we walk out of the bathroom and the kitchen's all torn out. So it's just an open area. And I'm like, well, where's the stairs up? She's like, where's the stairs upstairs? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you kidding me? I'm like, that's how horror movies start. Like, let's go find out what it is.
Right.
She's like, well, I guess now I will never say that in a movie because she's like looking for it. And I'm like, she's like, well, let's just get this done, and we'll move on. And then you hear the across again. I'm like, okay. She goes, yeah, I'm gonna go outside and find out what's going on. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, you're not going by yourself, partially because I didn't want to be in the fucking house by myself,
Right.
This is like people under the stairs.
Yeah.
That's what
so
it
we
is,
go outside
basically.
And there's a big farm, there's a big barn, and there's another like a detached 3-car garage. Like it's a farm area, And I look out as we're walking out of the front of the farmhouse. There's like a little front porch that's enclosed, and you can look. I was looking through the glass, through the trees, and I see a person, like a silhouette of a person walking out of the. And this is like, it's dark, So I'm like, she's walking out, or this person's walking out, and I'm like, is that a person? And of course, Colleen's already out of the house. She's like, what? I'm like, Colleen, there's a person over there. And so we walk out. She's like, hi, and the lady was like super creepy at first, and I swear to God. I thought we were all gonna die. Really I'm not that type of person, but I thought we were all gonna die. Evidently, they rent upstairs, but nobody told us, and she doesn't have a car because she's old, and she was checking out because she heard us downstairs, so she went outside to see what cars were in the driveway, and then was coming back in. Oh my God. I crap my pants. I'm not gonna
You
lie.
weren't kidding. You did write that. Yeah.
was-
You said you shit
It
yourself.
was bad. So then what does Colleen do? Like what any business person does, she's like, hey, do you have a toilet upstairs that needs cleaning? I'm like, oh my God, this lady is
course
like
she did.
old and weird, you know.
Oh my
And
God.
she's like, yeah, but I don't think my roommate would want you to come up and film our toilet.
Film our toilet.
What?
Oh my God. Yeah, you didn't want to either.
Yeah, no,
You
I
were
was-
like, yes, thank you,
yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah. We went back in and it was like totally thrown off for the rest of the night. So I got like crap for footage because I didn't know what the hell I was doing and I just wanted to leave. And so she's like, oh, all right. Well, we'll just so we went back in. I poured the rest of like the stuff into the toilet because it was a stubborn stain. And evidently she sent me a picture. I wish I had, maybe I do. I wish I had the picture. It's like fucking clean. It's like immaculate. Like it looked like an old nasty ass toilet like you'd find in a haunted house.
Yeah.
And it was sparkling clean.
So
it's like the sham wow of toilet cleaners.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely. It's pretty awesome stuff. So anyway, but that was my story. And I get to go back this Wednesday for the final shoot of all the clean stuff. So I'm super excited about that. But after that, then I get to clean a grill because she also sells a grill cleaner and diesel remover.
Oh, cool.
We have stubborn diesel stains.
How is this stuff going to be like distributed? Like, how is it like infomercial? No,
I don't think so. She'll probably sell it commercial, business to business. Anyway, enough of non-Halloween shit and Dan getting scared.
That toilet was scary though.
I mean,
I like that
story. It is kind of scary.
Yeah, it was. I definitely pooped myself. Not gonna lie. And then when I was leaving, it's like all corn. It's like all corn, and it's like a 1.5 lane road that's not really, paved.
Right.
It's kind of paved because nobody's cared about it for 75 years, and you're driving down this road, and it's like, yeah, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go home. Anyway, that's my scary story. Troy, what's in the news today for you? You got anything? Yep, that's what I thought.
I got a 12-foot skeleton.
Oh, you did?
After I convinced my wife.
No, I thought it was after you surprised your wife.
Actually, it was more the fact that I just got it and then asked her. Yeah, and it was sitting at Home Depot while I was asking her if I could get it.
What did she say?
She when I was done with,
I mean, the video showed that she was pretty excited about it, but
she was actually. But yeah, she was more upset that me and our friend Ron were going to take the truck to Home Depot to pick this thing up. And a year ago, we took the truck camping and Ron was driving and blew out the engine pretty much. So Ron is not allowed to drive the truck. And so when I said, Ron, we need to go pick up something at Home Depot, she immediately looked at me with that look. And she said, well, I'm going. And I said, oh, all right. And so then she went.
And
it's in the backyard.
12-foot skeleton. Look at that.
It's in the backyard. And I'm going to do something that nobody else has done yet.
Yeah, I saw you commented that on something, and I'm curious.
And it's going to be probably a 2-year project, only because what I want to do with it, I probably won't have time because I've never built it yet. So I don't know exactly how it all. I've watched other people, but I don't know exactly how to put it together, and I may need to modify it a little bit, like other people are doing. But I'm not going to go as crazy as some of the other people that make a move and all that kind of stuff, because I have zero talent in that aspect.
Did you talk about this with me? I feel like I think I know what you're doing, but I don't want to say it out loud.
I may have, but I know that I'm like, I mean, Ashley knows.
Well, I would hope.
Well, you said nobody's done it yet, but what if somebody does it this year and submits it to the thing, and then you're like, shit?
Well, because I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it.
You're finishing it this year.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna put it up this year, but I'm gonna do it my crazy, the way that I want to do it. But I'm gonna add to it next year.
Troy's home haunt, home haunter awards is rigged. So if it does come out, somebody else does it, then Troy will just not.
Nobody will ever see
it. They get like 2 for every category on that one. Nope. It looks like crap. It looks like twos.
Automatically at the bottom.
If you think you know what I'm gonna do, go ahead and do it because you're gonna lose.
Ooh, ouch.
There are 5 other judges, so my scores are probably thrown out anyways.
There needs to be another category, like who did it better, Troy and then everybody puts their You know what I mean?
Oh, well, then that's
then
not
the
even
other
that's not even a
judges-
That's
competition.
still better
Other
than Troy.
judges will
Everybody
judge
everybody
that.
loses. It's
You're
just
not judging,
automatic.
though.
I mean, if you ever
All the
if,
other judges get to judge.
if you ever wanted to lose something, try that.
Do that.
Because
Dan and I will judge. How's
There you
that?
go. There you go.
Just an automatic. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Speaking of doing it better, Susie, how's the hunt going?
It's going. It's going. It's going. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You open.
We open next Friday. This
I was gonna say,
Friday is actor training, and then Saturday's friends and family. Our friends and family night is when it's our dress rehearsal, and we give all of our actors 6 tickets for friends, family, or whoever. They come through. It's just like a regular haunt night, except nobody pays anything to get in. We do our timing. We run through, make sure everybody knows how to get it in and out of their space, and yeah, like it's happening. It is happening. I'm excited. Like it's a good year. Like every year, I was just talking about this in another one of my haunt groups, my lady haunt groups, and every year it has a different vibe. And I feel like this is the year that I am like all in it because like I don't know if you saw my picture yesterday. I was completely covered in paint yesterday from distressing walls. And like I'm fully in it this year. I've done more this year than I've ever done any year. And probably the 5 years previous to this, like combined, I've done more this year. And that's because more than half the people that usually help us couldn't help us this year. So we're kind of on our own. And also just because our kids are older and we're able to like leave them home and don't have to like worry about like, babies and feeding them. And they can always take a hot pocket out of the freezer because we're those parents. But yeah, so it's good. There I am. Yay. That's me without makeup on, and if you zoom up on the face, you can actually see the black flecks. So that was fun. That was fun.
But this is like there's probably 100 haunters right now that look exactly like this.
Yeah. What you don't
very
see
moment
is it was on my stomach too because I was wearing a sports bra, so I actually took my shirt off because it was so stinking hot up in there because we're getting like our second summer right now in PA, which is stupid. And so it's like hot during the day. So I was just like sweaty, but I had like paint all over my stomach and my legs. And it's still my fingernails. And the funny joke is that I do nails for a living. So my clients are all looking at me like, what is that black shit under your nails? And I'm just like, yeah, it's hot paint. Sorry.
I do. But you pretty much ignored the sign. You didn't use hand sanitizer.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It would not matter.
All over the place.
I noticed that too. I got
a question for you, Susie. This is something with the haunt. What is the craziest thing that you found in that haunted in that school since it's been closed? Like, because I ran a haunted house in an old abandoned school, and there was so much cool ass shit that we would find, like in the theater area above the rafters. There was a bunch of cool ass shit up there. There was a bunch of, like. Is there anything cool that you found?
Well, the school was closed as a school in 1976, and then that year it was converted into the administration building until 2006. Okay. So there was a lot of stuff that was taken out to go to other schools when it closed as the school. We purchased it in 2008, so it was only 2 years after the school district actually didn't own it anymore. And there was a guy that owned it for a very brief amount of time in the middle, and he thought he wanted it for his business and then decided it was too big for him, so he sold it. And that's who we bought it off of. But the funny thing is we actually had some people come through and do a haunt review our first year, and they were like, yeah, it was really cool that you had all this stuff here, like, and how like they kind of made it like it was so easy for us to convert this into a haunted school because it already was a school. And I was like, wait a second, we had 3 desks. There were 3 desks in a closet when we bought the building. So like all the desks we purchased and we found other places. There were no lockers in that school because they didn't do lockers back then. We found all that stuff. There was no library. We built the library. There was no cafeteria. We built the cafeteria. Like people didn't realize that shit, I guess we did a good job because it looks authentic, but it's totally not. But one of the coolest things I will say, and we actually used it in the haunt last year, back in the day, you used to get your teeth. I think some schools still do like a dentist day where the dentist comes in and just like looks at your teeth. But back in the day, I don't know if there was like, I don't want to say a resident dentist, but there were dentists that would come in. And so we found a lot of these old dental records from like the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. And they have the kid's name on it, which is really interesting because I grew up in this town. There's a lot of people's names on there, I know. And it gives like a score or like it tells you how clean their teeth were and all their teeth. It goes through each tooth. And it's pretty interesting to see somebody's dental records from when they were a kid. But there was this, I don't know what to call it. I want to say autoclave, and I know that's not the right thing, but some kind of instrument cleaning thing, but it's all rusted, and it was for the dentist office. And there were booklets for like dental chairs, and I'm assuming that stuff was in the school at one time. It's not there anymore. So last year we did like a dentist room, and we had like a girl with like teeth in her hand and like blood, like the dentist pulled out all our teeth and everything. And we actually used a lot of the stuff we found in the basement with the people's names on them in there and just like put them up on the wall and stuff. And that was kind of a neat piece of history to like have in there, you know. But that was probably the coolest thing we ever found. Nothing super like interesting, you know. Everything's pretty cool down there. I mean, there's so much in the haunt that we go through, and I'll be like, that couch was here whenever we bought the building and we use it in the haunt. There's like 2 weird looking couches that are just old and funky, and a lot of things that everything there we actually use in the school, even if it's not or in the haunt, even if it's not like a haunt, that we just make it work. We make it work. And you kind of have to do that. You get to that point where you're just like, I'm going to put this here. And it's funny that we're talking about this because this is a little piece of my news too. And I know we're talking a lot, but we actually got to go through Haunted Acres Manor, which we talked about on private message. But 100 Acres Manor opened last Friday in Pittsburgh. And we got to go through it a couple days before they opened, because my husband is a state inspector. And in Pennsylvania, you need to have a certified state inspector come through your haunt, along with a myriad of other inspections that you need, but this was just one of them. So we got to go through last Sunday before they opened on Friday. And it's so cool because like when you go through a haunt as a regular person versus as an actual haunt owner, you know, you're just like, wow. But it was so interesting. A lot of the stuff that in my brain when I'm doing my haunt, I'm like, what are we gonna do with this? There's really nowhere to put it. Put it away in that back room. And like going through Ham made me realize you freaking use everything, because I think they do at Ham. I really do. And if anybody from Ham's watching this, I like, honestly, there was some shit that I was like, look, like there's so much to see there because they're so full of stuff that it's like you just fill it with
layers.
I don't want to say because it's half the time, even if it doesn't really fit the theme, it just kind of goes matter anyway.
Well, but it makes it look more natural.
It does. It does. So that's what we've been doing recently. So that's good. But,
sweet.
Yeah, we're ready to roll almost.
We're ready to roll in here to talk to Don. But Troy, you want to give Don a little intro since we were supposed to have some other people on, but they got in Facebook jail and we can't get a hold of them now. And
yeah, we were supposed to have Rob Beach and Mike Uzembek from Hallucination Creations, but they both had issues. Mike's in Facebook jail because he was bad, naughty, and Rob
he's my kind of guy.
And Rob is actually filming a toilet at his house, so it's all full
That's
circle.
So ironic.
And we went around some tents. And we found Don Presutti from Cryptic Souls Haunted Attraction. Hi, Don.
What's up, guys? Hey, Don. How's it going?
It's good. It's pronounced Presutti, by the way.
Oh.
Presutti. Got it.
So
Troy can't pronounce anything.
That's okay.
Nope,
I can't.
Nope.
You could
stand Phobel.
You could say his last name right now, and I still wouldn't be able to pronounce it.
Nope. Nope.
So how you guys doing tonight?
Shrivel one.
What?
Shriveled one. Yeah.
I thought we weren't talking about balls anymore.
Right back to the ball.
That conversation almost made me regret agreeing to this.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Ironically enough, everybody who's agreed to be on our show has then messaged us and said, "I never want to be on it again." So we're just continuing on.
We put on our best face when we want you, and then once we have you, we're just like, and all this stupid comes out.
And we swing our balls around and put them through shafts.
Yeah, and film creepy toilets with ShamWow in it. So whatever.
All right.
Anyway.
So Dawn, you are in the Northeast. Are you in New Jersey?
No, I'm in New York. I'm in Orange County, New York.
Okay. And for those who don't know exactly where that is, because I love to Facebook stalk. He is up here. Here is the New Jersey, New York line. You've got Poughkeepsie up here. You got all this New York. He's way up here.
I'm
Downtown New
on the
York.
border of Jersey. I'm 15 minutes from Mountain Creek Ski Resort, which is like world famous. So
Okay, people over there would know what that is. I do not. So there you go. But yeah, so he's and this is this haunted house in your property, or is that
Yes.
actual building location? Okay.
Nope, I build it every year from start to finish.
When do you start building?
I've actually been working on like some panels and stuff in my facade since March.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I actually just started putting it up probably the last week of August. So we've been hard at work, sweating and getting in the dirt, and because like Susie said, we're going through our second summer here too, and today it was just hotter than hell and
Stupid.
muggy
Isn't it
as
the
all hell.
dumbest thing? It's so stupid. I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
I hate it. I really
And the
do.
mosquitoes right now are like the worst part.
Yeah.
I can stand sweating and being dirty, but like my ankles are covered in mosquito bites.
Are you outside? Like your attractions all outside, outdoors?
It's enclosed. We do like 2x3 framing and then black plastic walls and stuff like that. But for intensive purposes, yeah, it's outside.
Okay. Now for your mosquitoes out there, because this is absolutely haunt related because we all deal with this. Do yours only really come out in the evening, or are they out all day?
Usually right around 4:00 is when we start to get eaten alive.
Okay.
I don't deal
here,
with mosquitoes.
it's like right before dusk. So it's like from like 7 to 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be standing outside and it's all over your legs, all, and you're so
I don't deal with that though because I'm inside, but I was outside playing with my dog at like 7:30 and I was getting all bit up. So.
She's inside, Dawn.
She's an inside haunter. Yeah.
I'm from the other side of the
There's nothing wrong with inside haunters.
I'm just a simple man. I'm just a simple man.
Oh my God.
So yes, thank you for coming on at short notice. I literally messaged you while you were going to get food. So I appreciate you coming on short notice. So tell us pretty much how you got started with haunting, what you're basically your progression from, oh, look, a pumpkin to where you're at now.
Well, I used to be like absolutely terrified of all things Halloween and haunted houses and haunted house decorations and this, that, and the other until I worked for a pro haunt one year. I used to work for Pure Terror, which is local to me. And after my first year, I fell in love. Like it was meant to be,
Yep.
And at first my girlfriend was like, why are you talking about Halloween in February? And I'm like, because I have to. It's written in me now. I'm an October baby, so it's kind of written in the DNA.
Nice.
I worked there with my girlfriend for 3 years. And then we kind of just branched out and started doing our own thing. We had like some CVS skeleton prop and some dollar store tombstones and some little garden fencing. And it kept progressing. And we're on our 9th year now. And this year is definitely our biggest. We have grown exponentially. We have almost 600 followers on Facebook. Last year we had 8 actors. This year we'll have 12 volunteers. Nice. So yeah, and just every year we try to grow, and it's just been an absolute joy to grow the haunt, and hopefully one day it'll be a real thing for me. So
yeah.
So how big is the haunt itself now?
It'll probably take you 7 minutes to walk through both houses. It's the first one is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 square foot.
Okay.
And the second one's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 700. So they're decent size. My yard is very small. The first house is only on one side of my front yard because we live in like a development with cul-de-sacs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but we make it work. I mean, my grass isn't happy. Half of my lawn from the sidewalk up is no longer existent, but it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
How do your neighbors feel about it? Do your neighbors
honestly,
like it?
I've had zero kickback from the neighbors. Absolute zero. They all love it. I mean, the kids walk by, and that's really kind of why like we've started to progress the way that we have and just keep going with it, because all the kids in the neighborhood have like, we've watched them all grow up, and every year it's, are you building this year? When are you going to start building? We can't wait to come through, this, that, and the other. So it's really it puts a smile on my face every year.
And so what? So you said you've gone from from the dollar store stuff. Do you build a lot of your own stuff, or do you do a mix of buying and modifying, or how do you fill the rooms with whatever theme it is for the year?
Like right now is bulk junk removal in our town, so I go garbage picking.
That's the best. I love that.
I'm grabbing like old beds and couches and pieces of foam and stuff to fill props with, and just whatever I can get my hands on. I'm currently looking for a sink, but I can't find one because nobody wants to throw away a sink. But it is what it is. But yeah,
There'll be 800 sinks out at the day after Halloween.
Absolutely,
you know that, right?
It happens every
There'll
time.
be sinks everywhere.
I hate that. I need those places that do like the Habitat for Humanity restores and stuff like that, where like people will take stuff from a house demolition and take it and donate it to a place that then resells it for a lot cheaper. Do you guys have those over there?
The closest we have is like a Goodwill, but there's never anything really good in our Goodwill.
Yeah,
we literally
it's a
have
lot of
places
old
here
clothes
that they like you'll demo a house, or I'll take out all the doors of my house. I can take them all to this place, and they will put them in the racks, and they'll put $5 on the door, and then somebody else can go in and buy it. And there are sinks in there. I mean, there's right now at one of the stores, there's probably 30 sinks in there right now.
Yeah, we have like an architectural salvage that has like all that stuff.
Yeah, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have nothing like that I'm aware of around here. I'll have to look into it, see if I can see if there is anything.
Yeah, because you can
see if it's like
stuff cheap there.
Yeah. It's like look up like architectural salvage. Those places are great, and they have like molding and doors and windows and really those closet louver doors and all kinds of stuff.
Wallpaper, doorknobs, door hinges. I mean, name it.
You could almost build a whole house out of what they have in those stores.
Yeah. Ours has like paint and like like if somebody has like leftover flooring that they aren't using in a box of flooring, whatever, like stuff like that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Look that up. Look that up and see.
I definitely will. But I also live in New York, where nobody wants to sell things for cheap anyway.
True. True that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I live in a very rich type town. Like the taxes here and stuff are extremely high, and it's just everybody.
Well, then just go take it off of people's houses. Just go into their house and take it. They can replace it. It's fine.
Yeah, totally. I'm just gonna go steal their toilet. You need a toilet, Dan? You need another toilet?
Dan knows somebody about toilets.
No more toilets. I'm toileted out. I've got
toileted out.
I'm toileted out.
Toileted out. Say that 10 times fast.
I'm not going to. I'm toileted out.
But yeah, no. To get back to your question, is like I do tend to build a lot of my own props. Like the one here over my shoulder, I built her for the church this year. There's another one in the corner back there that I built. And then I buy some stuff from like my local haunt who's getting rid of stuff, and I buy some stuff from him, and I'll take his leftovers that he's going to throw away for the season. And
nice.
I'll go dive through his dumpster because he's a good buddy of mine. So
nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
What is the theme for your haunt, since Troy's slacking on posting pictures?
This year is the Satanic Church and the butcher shop, Rusty's Revenge. So our butcher's name is Rusty, and this year it's Rusty's Revenge. So I usually tend to roll. So like I'll do one new theme every year, and then I'll roll the new one from the previous year over, and that'll be the second house.
Got it.
So there's always something familiar that people get excited about.
Cool.
Yeah, I love this. I love this video. Our friend shot this. Shout out to Sam at Bay Canyon Studios. She filmed all this, and I edited all this as a promo video for us this year. And it came out pretty good, I think. My first time ever editing a video of this magnitude, but
it's super cool. How many actors do you guys utilize
this year? This year we're looking at about 12, I think.
Holy cow, that's a lot.
Yeah. For such a small, because I don't have a lot of props, like a lot of static props or moving props. I don't really dabble in pneumatics or anything like that. So I rely on my actors to do their job. And we'll have our acting class on the 8th, and we'll go over it with everybody and stuff like that.
Now, so how many nights do you guys open?
3, just the weekend of Halloween, the 29th, 30th, 31st, from 6 to 10. That's my girlfriend on the
charge to go through it or not?
No. We accept donations, but it's been free every year since we've been doing it. Just as a way to give back to the community and let the kids have some fun, keep Halloween alive.
Mm-hmm. Now, what did you do anything different last year, like for COVID, or did you guys like run your operations like as normal?
We sent smaller groups through. We put out sanitizing stations and stuff like that. We mandated masks in the line. But once your group went through, we told you could take your mask off if you felt more comfortable, given the fact that there's fog and stuff like that in there. We want you to be able to breathe. So everybody was receptive to the way that we did things. We had no issues. Nobody caused a stink.
Yeah.
So
will you be doing that this year, or like, because I keep
No.
saying last year for COVID, but it's like, we're kind of in the same spot. But
business as usual this year. We're just gonna go for it, and if people want to go through. If not, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
wear a mask, have at it. But I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
make people.
Right.
Everybody's pretty much sick and tired of having to do that everywhere they go anyway. So
Right. And see, like, you guys are pretty much, I mean, I believe I'm the only state, well, Washington as well. Oregon has 100% indoor mask mandate and an outdoor mask mandate for anything. Washington has one for any events that are 500 people or more. So technically you would say that a haunted house would not be that because the people are outside, but it's, I guess your line could cause that. But so there's a little bit of gray area there. But Oregon, we have, and we even have one haunted house here who is making them show vaccination cards or tests to even get in. And
Really?
that's going to, and it was not their choice. They were forced upon that by the location they're at. But, so that could possibly hurt attendance. So I'm really excited that the majority of the states get to decide for themselves, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of haunted houses that will ask for masks and things like that, and that's fine. Obviously this year everybody needs to make sure they check the websites and check the Facebook pages to see if there is any, anything they need to know before they go. But
the hand sanitizing stations are never a bad idea. I mean, it's like one of those things that you say, like, why didn't we do this before?
Yeah.
Right, Dan, Mr. Yeah. I'm afraid of.
Yeah. So just
bacteria.
so you know, if anybody wants to totally freak me out on a haunted house, it has nothing to do with anything except for the Oprah's vagina. When you walk into the black, because think about it.
We took ours down last year and we haven't put it back up yet.
Think about how many people's faces.
Yeah.
No, really. But when I go through them,
walk in, it's so disgusting.
I put my arms out. I'm going to tell you why. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Because before I had my eyebrows microbladed, they would come off.
What?
Oh my god, that is so fucking awesome.
Video or it didn't happen.
Oh my god,
I have the microbladed, which is like a tattooing now. But they literally would rub off.
I mean, when you're going through these things, you don't go like this. Oh,
you're not
great, you guys.
Wait, I'm not like going down the birth canal. What?
She's eyebrows first on everything.
Okay, human eyebrows don't come off, so I don't understand. If this is what I have to look forward to with my daughter, I'm out.
Oh yeah.
I'm out.
Hell yeah.
Dan, has your daughters lost their eyebrows?
Wait, stop. I am a product of the 90s when Madonna literally had the skinniest eyebrows in the world, and I wanted to emulate that. So I literally sat in the mirror when I was like 14 and plucked out.
Oh my god.
Because they don't grow back, do they?
They grow back, but I don't know. Something happens when you like overpluck, and they're just like, "Fuck you, I'm not growing back."
I had a kid in like 3rd grade that did that.
Getting worn off.
So yeah, I feel you.
God.
I've accidentally shaved one off before while cutting my hair, but that's about it.
Yeah. Shaving off isn't as bad, but when you actually remove it from the root, something happens there.
Okay,
and then as you get older, you lose your hair.
Tip number 348: do not go through a haunt vagina with your eyebrow. I don't even know how to tip that one. That's a long tip. I don't know.
Yeah.
Watch your eyebrows. There
you go.
So
basically where I was going with that is that's the grossest thing in a haunted house for me.
Yeah.
I will go in backwards.
Yes, I go in backwards too.
I will go in backwards.
Yeah, I do this.
Yeah, I'm one of those too.
Yeah.
And then when I get halfway in, I bounce back and forth. like this.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
it totally throws the person behind me into the wall.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Get ready,
Yep.
Susie.
Yep.
I took mine
Like,
out.
what's going on in this room? I don't understand. I'm getting thrown around. Yep.
We took ours out last year and we just didn't have the space for it this year. We couldn't justify anywhere to take up that much room. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
And
bring it
maybe
back.
maybe
People
COVID
love it.
was the end of that, you know,
The
like it
killer.
was like
Yeah.
it was a natural break in using it.
Yes.
You know, and I know there's a lot of haunts that use it because it slows down the line and it kind of stops the conga line for a few minutes because you have that
Right.
going through. People generally go a little bit slower through it, and you can make it really long.
Too, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it does create a break. But I have a feeling a lot of haunts now are trying to get. I know one here has like 4 different break points where they stop you and you're in a room and you're listening to something, you're watching something, you're experiencing something,
Yeah.
but you're not moving. And
They
then all of a
cue
sudden
you.
something opens and then you move through. So instead of using the
Right.
tunnel, they've created another experience where the tunnel was like, we have this long room that we want to break up the conga lines with.
Yeah.
We'll just put plastic, you know? And
Yeah.
so now it's evolved into them being more challenged, you know?
The
So
last
that's-
time
like
we
those,
used
though.
ours, the last time we used ours was our blindfold. This is obviously pre-COVID. Our blindfold rope maze. So we would like put a blindfold on them, push them through this tunnel, hand them a rope at the end, and then you were on your own. And that's what we did in 2019. So that was the last time we used it.
Wow.
We haven't used it since then. Yeah, and then we beat them with. No, I'm kidding. You guys are like, tell me more. How much is this? How
I won't
much?
push back.
Beating them with pool noodles and stuff. That'd be cool.
yeah,
No,
I like that idea.
we don't beat anybody, but
See, but
So-
I like what you were saying. Right? Like I've been to a couple haunts where they got like the elevator thing and the elevator shakes and it plays stuff like on the screen and stuff like that. It's like a pause. Like that stuff is awesome. I would much rather that than the inflatable butt cheeks, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your aspirations for haunt from, you know, like are you, I mean, do you want to grow from here and go away from home haunting, or
Oh
what are
yeah,
your
I definitely want
future
to get
aspirations?
away from home haunting and turn it into a business at some point. I don't necessarily know if I want to go like full on pro with like, you know, a mile long haunted house or anything like there is here, but I mean pro-am, I guess you could say, is what I'd aim
Right.
for. You know, 3 or 4 houses, something small on a couple acres, some actors, and I'm good with that, you know, and it doesn't need to be anything crazy for me.
Yeah.
And
there's room
hopefully
for all
5-year
different types.
plan, maybe 5-year plan.
Nice. Okay.
We'll
Cool.
see.
Cool.
See what happens.
So yeah, so you make do you have any props that you're excited about making that you're making this year, or is it, I know you mentioned about the facade.
The facade was my baby this year, man. I mean, that was a labor of love. I carved 6 panels into stone. You and I were in contact a bit about that. I was sending you pictures and stuff.
Yep.
But my favorite thing that I've probably built in the last few years was the door for the church. The door came out so awesome. Like it exceeded my expectations. It looked
What's the
so
door made out
old and like
Is the door
it's
made out
foam.
of foam
It's
too? Yeah.
it's green foam, and I carved the slat lines down it, so they're like, I think they're like 4 inches wide, and then I carved it all the way down, and then I used a wire brush to score the foam, and then I just heated it a little bit, and then just painted it, and it looks like an old turn of the century door from an old church or something like that. It's really
Cool.
wicked.
Wait,
I don't know.
I'm assuming Troy is feverishly looking for pictures.
he looks
Does
feverish.
is it this one?
Yes, that is
Okay.
the door.
So that door that is on there, I mean, that looks amazing.
Mhm.
Thank
Is
you.
Is it just foam, or do you have a frame on there? Like,
I do. There's a frame on it now. I put the frame on it when we put it up. It's got a 2x3 frame on it. So right across like the top where the arch starts, there's a piece across, and then another piece in the middle, another piece on the bottom, and 2 that run vertically. And then there's just a V at the top. I didn't go like the full circle. I just did a V just for some support because it's not going to open and close very much. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So where does everything get stored in the off season? That's always my favorite question because I see all this stuff and I'm always like, I don't have to take anything down. I want to know where you put your shit.
My very expensive storage unit.
Like off property.
Storage
like you
units
put
in
it
my
in a
town
truck.
are ridiculous.
So you have to get it there though without
Yeah.
breaking anything, which is
Yep.
a whole other thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
storage
one.
unit?
This year I have to get. I'm probably gonna have to go to like a 10 by 15. Yep, and rent.
So how many trips do you have to make to get everything to your house?
This year was 2. But
And
we
you do it all in one shot. I mean, I'm assuming that's a rental.
Yeah,
rental
it's a U-Haul. It's a 10-foot U-Haul. So I try to do everything all on the same day. It's not far from my house either, so the rental isn't terribly expensive. But
That's good.
Sure.
yeah, so because I've been looking to see if I can buy a box truck though, because I use them more often than not.
Now, what's in the bags?
Those are just body bags. They used to be the bags are from Ghost Ride, but the bodies aren't in them anymore. I got that from my Pro Haunt friend. So they're just they got like the 4-inch corrugated pipe in them and some foam board and stuff, and I just hung those up in the butcher shop last year to walk through.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, they're heavy. Some of them are pretty heavy. You got to really push them to get them out of your way because they're also 8 feet tall.
So you have this green. You were mentioning you had green foam. I'm like, what? I've only ever heard of blue and the pink because we have Lowe's has the blue and Home Depot has the pink. But I know like places in Florida, like Florida, you can't get any of that hard foam. It's all just the white foam. It's the beaded foam. They can't get that green.
I couldn't imagine trying to carve my facade out of that this year. There's no way. But that's only 1 inch thick. That's only 1 inch thick because budget was tight this year because I was out of work for a year because I had back surgery. So budget was very tight this year.
There he is.
What do you do for a day job, Don?
Usually I just do manual labor. I'm like a handyman. I do construction.
Got it.
Any of that. So,
you've got a knack for building shit.
Yes. I'm very good with my hands. I can pretty much build anything that needs to be built if need be. Mechanics, stuff like that. I'm trying to get into some video editing stuff. I do make some soundtrack stuff, and I am also this year in the off season going to be producing some mini spotlights.
What?
What? There they are.
What?
Shameless plug.
You mean like these? Yeah,
like those.
Like that.
Troy has he has 3 colors, 2 of each of some prototypes that I made.
I may or may not have put the wing nuts on there.
That's fine. Do you, man?
I messaged him as soon as I got him. I go, so first and really only complaint is that you have nuts on there instead of wing nuts. And he goes, I've already changed it. You just got ones that I made earlier. And I was like, all right, I'm down with that.
I made 300 of those for myself in various colors this year.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you strictly light your haunt with the mini pin lights, or do you use other sources?
Last year was the first year I did that. I bought some from Ned's LEDs because Ned is awesome. He has a good product. And I used his for the first time last year, and I'll never go back. I'll never. I was using like spirit spotlights and like floodlights from Amazon and stuff, and it's just the nano spots are the way to go.
Yeah, they are. They cast just the right amount of light to light what you want, and leave shadows with everything else. I absolutely love min pins.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna try to offer them in 2 different things where one will be like where the LED is closer to the end, so it's more floodlight, and then the other ones will be where the LED is further back for more pin spot. And I'm trying to make them waterproof, so keep your eyes open for that. I'm trying to make them completely waterproof if I can.
If anybody saw what I put in my yard, waterproof is the furthest thing that I'm thinking about.
You're not the only one, dude.
Yep. I actually the funny thing is I had put electrical in my yard to like on the outside of my house. I have a rental. I hope my landlord isn't watching this. And I put my own electrical out there, and they went along and the city came by and said, that's not up to code. And so they came out and they fixed it. And now I have nice, safe GFCIs on the outside and the inside and everything. And it's nice and good. So
Really,
GFCIs are the way to go, obviously. Yeah, I use more of this than you can imagine. But so, I am actually going to a new style of wiring this year, and it is waterproof, so that's going to be awesome. So
nice. I'm actually for the first year this year, I'm going to use those extension cords that got the multi outlets in them. So I can wire it to the top of the inside of my haunt and just plug in whatever I need to, so I don't have 100 extension cords. Because in the past 8 years, I've gotten it down from like 52 of those brown indoor extension cords with the 3 little outlets on the end to like 3 outlets tops because of those.
I have a whole drawer full of them back there.
But I've also been really lucky that the town or the village hasn't come a knocking to look at my building. So
yeah, do you know that's a good segue. Do you know of any sort of because I know every single city, every single even county or town has different rules and stuff. Do you know of any in your area that you should be following or do follow?
So from all the research that I could possibly gather without actually calling the building inspector and drawing attention to myself is that I don't need permits in my town because it's a temporary structure.
Okay, cool.
So because it's only up for X amount of time. I mean, I'm probably supposed to use fire retardant plastic and fire retardant paint and stuff, but
yeah, good luck on. I mean, from what I've heard, I like when people will say, "Well, I bought it and it says flame retardant," but then the fire marshal comes through and goes, "Well, I didn't see. That's just a tag. You didn't actually put you didn't buy the stuff and put it on there yourself." And show me, or it doesn't have a tag from the manufacturer that says that, and there's plenty of prop companies out there that will put that on their stuff. They give you it's either on the prop or it's on the receipt or something that says that it's, been treated. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that there's not, we hear of a couple every year that get hit by the cities, and luckily I haven't heard of any from last year, but I think the majority of them didn't operate, but so it's always a good thing to know just in case. I had it happen to me, and I was building my motel out in front of my garage, and somebody said, well, they didn't have any right to come and tell you that, because the city code came by and said you can't have that, and that they were governed over it, and somebody was like, well, they can't do that, and I said they visibly saw me break the rules because the building was outside of the setbacks, and all you had to do was drive by the front of my house, so it was already violating a code, so they had every right to come onto the property and inspect it and do all that kind of stuff. And but from what I've heard from almost everybody is if you get a hint that somebody's creeping around, then you need to make them your friend early on, have them come in early, have them show them what you're doing. Charity aspects always help, things like that.
Well, this year we're thinking about donating half of our proceeds to the Warwick Valley Humane Society. Warwick is the town that I live in. And my girlfriend is an animal control officer there, and they're trying to get a new building. So half of whatever we make this year will probably go to them. So
see, there you go.
It also helps that I know the mayor of the village, and we win Scare the Mayor contest every year. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, Scare the Mayor is really cool, man. It's something that I actually put into his ear. Yeah, there you go. Many years ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
Yeah, explain this.
So you they open up the entries. You call down to Village Hall. You put your name on the list. The mayor of the village, the kid mayor, because they got a little kid who's like the mayor apprentice, comes around, and a couple other people from like his administration, they come around, and they just judge you. You get overall scariest, best clowns, best whatever. They change up.
They come to the haunted house,
huh?
they come to the haunted house, or do you track them there and scare the shit out of them? Because that's what I'm catching out of it.
That's what
I just call and I put my name on the list, and they come here and they go through, and he runs out of here screaming every time.
That's awesome.
In our town, we do like a house decorating, like a Halloween decorating thing, which I never ever get to do because I'm too busy. But one year they contacted us, which I don't know why they only did it 1 year, because it only makes sense for us to be the judges every year. But 1 year they were like, here's the addresses of the places that submitted, drive around and tell us, who's the scariest, who's the, so Crawford School of Terror got to judge the house decorating contest, and they won like a bucket of stuff with, I don't know, we had tickets and they put a bunch of stuff in it, but the mayor in our town is the one that like organized that whole thing. So it's kind of nice, kind of like that, but a little bit different.
Yeah, it's very similar. We get a plaque. That's
oh, nice. That's cool. Shane wanted to know if you guys put up any security cameras to watch your yards or haunts. I have house security cameras on my house. Do you have any on your property?
I do, so don't try it.
Right. Now, do you use any of them as scare cams, or have you thought about that?
This year will probably be the first year that I'll put a scare cam in the main room of the church. I'm thinking either that or in the main room of the butcher shop. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I bought a cheap one off Amazon. It was like $25, but it's got IR on it. It's got audio on it, and it shoots in 1080p. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. But yeah, nice. If my cameras don't get you, my dogs probably will. So don't try to go through the nice. Unattended.
And so you said at the beginning that it's your wife now, right?
No, it's my girlfriend. We've been together 12 years, so for all intents and purposes, yeah, I guess.
Okay. So you're gonna propose to her this year in the haunt. Okay, cool. Does she still
get me in trouble, dude? What are you doing?
By the way, I need some more light. I need some more lights to be quiet.
You just need a spider ring. You don't need a diamond or anything. Just one of those plastic spider rings.
So I'm just gonna get her a ring pop.
There you go. What more would a woman want?
Well, I think we're safe, because if she makes it this far in the show, she's gonna be upset.
True.
There's no way.
She's a keeper. She's a good sport. She's very supportive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does she still help with the haunt and stuff like that, or does she?
Yes, she does.
Sit back and say yes, buy stuff. Yeah.
Very much helps. She's out there helping me put up plastic and build frames and help me light and gives me input and stuff. She's very good at it too. So
awesome.
I couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah. There's
love you, babe. Okay, bye.
Sounds like you need to propose. I'm just saying.
Goodbye. No.
You'll find me usually throughout the beginning part when I'm setting everything up. I send my wife out there and she puts all the tombstones where she thinks they should go. And I've made a rule now that if where she puts them is where I'm gonna put them. Unless I had like one of my monuments or something, I put those out. But all my tombstones, I stack them up and she puts them out there, and that's where they will need to stay. But generally I will go back into her throughout the first couple of weeks and go, so, okay, come here. And she's like, what? And I'm like, no, I need you to look at something. Yes or no, camera 1, camera 2. And so, she's awesome about that. So,
actually Nicole, she designed the entire maze for the church this year. That's all her.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. I just,
very cool.
I built the frames. She was just like, here, put this here and put this here, and let's do it this way. And I was like, okay. And then I got stuck putting all the plastic up by myself, pretty much. So, yeah.
Oh, so she left for the hard stuff. Got it. Okay. Got it.
Had to go to work.
Yep.
Right. Nice. Well, that you probably have one of the most support. I mean, there's plenty of supportive wives out there, but that seems to be, because we kind of ask this question each week, and we get, oh yeah, she supports it, he supports it, whatever, and but and we get a few that's like, nope, they're not into it at all, they hate it. So
she wasn't at first,
Troy,
she was she was less involved at first when we first really started, and I started really wanting to build a walkthrough and stuff like that, but she came around.
Nice.
It was gonna happen either way. So.
See Dan, she came around.
Yeah,
you've got work to do, Dan.
I've got work to do.
Earn them brownie points, buddy.
Right?
Right.
I'm gonna have to.
I used all of mine up for the 12-foot skeleton, so I have to start from square one.
You know what? I got to tell you, I wish my Troy would come home with a 12-foot skeleton. I would be like, yes. Yes! We
It's
saw one
crazy,
day,
I
and
Sorry.
we couldn't get it. Sorry. We saw one at Home Depot. It was just sitting there, and it was like one, and it was early in the season this year, and I was like, should we get that? Because like, you know, we're not gonna be able to find one. And he's like, so, you know, we passed it up.
20 minutes later, it was gone.
Oh, right. 3 minutes later, it was gone.
Right.
You know,
So
Halloween is not that big in my area like that. There's not like hardly
Really?
any haunters out here. Like I can't find a haunt friend locally
ew, that's weird.
for nothing. Like
Yeah.
so, like
Ew.
our Home Depot is
Ew.
fully stocked. There's like nothing missing.
What?
Oh, wow.
Man-eating plants, infernos,
Creepy.
angels of death, 12-foot skeletons.
That's
There's
so
everything.
weird. Ew.
There's one guy in my town who bought a bunch of stuff for me when I made pillars back in the day. He bought a bunch of stuff for me, and he tries to outdo me every year, and that doesn't work. But he's like the only one. He's the only one who's anywhere remotely close to me.
His name is Troy Crivolone, isn't it?
Yeah. Your Home Depot is 28 minutes away from you?
From me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're such a creeper, Troy.
Seriously,
what?
Jesus. What are you in my driveway? What
What the hell?
No, I'm not. But I will
That
be in
is
28
so
minutes.
weird. He just Google mapped it.
I did.
I gotta
So,
go.
Which one
everybody,
is that?
if
I
you
can't
want-
see. Is that Middletown?
Woodbury? Yeah.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Woodbury, yeah. Woodbury
Okay.
and Middletown are about the same.
So
Wait,
if you
so-
want a bunch of Halloween stuff, here is the Home Depot, the last one in America that has everything you need.
Nope, the one in Middletown too.
17.
The one in Middletown will have it also.
17
one in Middletown?
12-foot skeletons.
Hilarious.
I was there the other day and they literally had every single thing.
Weird.
So
Oh,
Don,
here,
we
Middletown,
gotta start wrapping this bad boy up here.
Sure.
Where can everybody come find your stuff? I mean, you post on Facebook. How can we find you?
Cryptic Souls Haunted Attraction on Facebook. So facebook.com/Cryptic Souls Haunted Attraction. We're also on TikTok. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We're on all the socials. So if you search us, we're probably the only ones with that name.
Do you hear that, Troy? He's on TikTok too.
And we're on Google now. I put us on Google this year.
I have to go on TikTok because Chevy Chase did a TikTok that said, show me how you're biggest Chevy Chase fan without telling me. And I cosplayed Chevy Chase every year when I do my Christmas lights. I
Oh
wear his
my
entire
God.
outfit while I put my Christmas lights up.
No, you're not weird at all. That's fine.
I'm not. And but I take the outfit after I wear it and I put it on a skeleton in the yard with a chainsaw over his head and a cut down Christmas tree right next to him. So
I love it.
Listen,
Yeah, I kind of love it.
You're
it's
not a
continuity.
diehard Chevy
Yeah.
Chase fan unless you literally staple yourself to your house and hang there.
Yeah.
I did. I actually have my hand up on there and I stapled the shirt to the house and then I did the video and the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all there. Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
I know.
So
It took me 3 years to get that costume together. So
Oh.
it's very hard to find that stupid flannel. It's very, very hard.
So Troy, I hate to push you back into
It's Christmas.
Halloween stuff,
Christmas.
but what's on for next week? Because I know we're already over the numbers here.
I don't care.
Whoever wants to show up.
No, next week we have Ben Karosky. I probably said his name wrong. And Ken Homningman. I probably said his wrong name too. And then Lilia. I said her name right. I'm not gonna say her last name.
what was
I
Ken's last name?
I spent time at their house.
Say that
I
again.
have
Wait,
I
what
have-
was
So
Ken's
you
last
broke up, Troy. Can we do that one more time?
name? No, I didn't catch Ken's last name.
What was it?
Homingman. he's gonna kill me for this. He's gonna kill me. Anyways, Ben and Ken and Lilia and a bunch of other people in Vancouver, British Columbia, put on what's called Fright Fest BC. And it is a weekend event where they build a haunted house at a park and they camp there. and they actually build a haunted house starting like Thursday, and they tear it down on Sunday, and the camp goes through it, and it's awesome. They do it every August, and so we're going to talk to them about their history. And Ken and Lilia have their own home haunt in Canada as well that we'll talk about. So it's Canada next week, eh?
Canada, sweet.
It's all about Canada.
All the boots.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Don, for the short notice, and I appreciate it. And we'll put you on the slate for next year so we can see what you've done for this year.
No problem. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much,
Take
guys.
lots of video.
I will. Trust me.
Take care, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you
guys.
next.
Bye.
Bye.